Imagine a world where the hum of machines drowns out the clinking of hammers on anvils, where warmth flows from steaming pipes instead of crackling fireplaces. Picture bustling streets filled not just with horse-drawn carriages, but with vibrant new contraptions, engines, railways, and factories that changed everything. As we dive into the extraordinary tale of the Industrial Revolution, you'll discover how this pivotal era reshaped the very fabric of our everyday lives, transforming the mundane into the remarkable. Stay with us, and you'll gain insights that will forever change how you view the world around you. The Industrial Revolution was not just a shift in industry, it heralded a new chapter in human history, revolutionizing how we live, work, and interact. But how exactly did it infiltrate our daily lives? In the late 18th and early 19th centuries, it altered our landscapes, our social structures, and even our personal relationships. It's a saga you might think you know, but what comes next will leave you speechless. Did you know that the average work week for laborers plunged to around 60 hours per week? This reality starkly contrasts our quest for work-life balance today, drawing a poignant line from the past to our present. As the wheels of industrialization began to turn, cities exploded. The urban population swelled from 10% to over 50% in just a few decades. The allure of factory jobs attracted rural dwellers eager for a better life, but what they found in the smoke-filled cities was far from paradise. Families were often torn apart as men, women, and children found themselves toiling in unsafe conditions for meager wages. Can you imagine children as young as 5 or 6 working the same hours as adults? It's a sobering thought, isn't it? But the revolution didn't just bring hardships, it opened doors to new opportunities. It birthed revolutionary inventions that continue to influence our lives today. The steam engine, railroads, and spinning jenny are just a few marvels that helped usher us into the modern age. This intricate machinery didn't just create goods, it created a marketplace, a web of commerce that connected people far beyond their hometowns. Have you ever thought about how different your shopping experience is today compared to before this innovation? Let's pause here. Imagine waiting weeks for an item to arrive instead of the instant accessibility we enjoy now. The Industrial Revolution laid the groundwork for globalization, setting the stage for an interconnected world where information and products traverse the globe in the blink of an eye. While we often associate the Industrial Revolution with machines and commerce, its influence reached deep into our homes. The introduction of electricity was a seismic shift that transformed daily life. Think about it, the first towns illuminated by electric lights were a revelation. No longer bound by the setting sun, life extended into the evening hours, allowing communities to thrive with social gatherings, education, and, importantly, leisure. You might be wondering, what kind of entertainment did people engage in with all these extra hours? Well, it wasn't long before this fabric of leisure wove itself into the arts. The music halls and theaters of Victorian England buzzed with life as people flocked to see plays, listen to orchestras, and enjoy vaudeville acts. The revolution also catalyzed the spread of newspapers, effectively laying the foundation for our modern information age. People were no longer passive receivers of news, they became active participants in a broader dialogue about societal issues, politics, and progress. And let's not forget about health and medicine. The Industrial Revolution also served as a crucible for medical advancements. With urbanization came the need for public health reforms. The unsanitary conditions of densely populated areas drew attention to the importance of clean water and waste management. Pioneers like Florence Nightingale emerged, advocating for sanitation in hospitals and education for nurses. The progress of medicine during this era was astonishing, Did you know that by the mid-19th century, the germ theory had begun to reshape perceptions of disease transmission? This revelation has had profound implications on public health policies even today. However, every silver lining has a cloud. The social structures of the past began to fray at the edges. Traditional roles were tested as women increasingly entered the workforce, challenging long-standing norms. This emerging independence was an early ripple of the feminist movements that would follow. Even as they fought for basic rights, women were critical contributors to industrial success. You might find it inspiring to think that changes in the workplace were a precursor to changes in society as a whole, paving the way for generations to come. Another unexpected twist was the environmental cost of industrialization. While it propelled societies into modernization, it also left a lasting imprint on our planet. The smoke and soot emanating from factories turned skies gray, rivers blackened from unregulated waste, and species began to vanish due to habitat destruction. Fast forward to today, and the fight for environmental sustainability reflects the consequences of our predecessors' actions. It begs the question, how closely should we mirror the lessons learned from the past as we confront our ongoing environmental crisis? At the heart of the Industrial Revolution lies the concept of innovation, a theme that resonates through time. Today, we celebrate invention, yet it feels worlds apart from the mechanistic flurry of the 18th century. Yet, the seed was planted during this era, eventually leading to the age of technology we find ourselves in today. Consider how automation, sparked by the Industrial Revolution, now shapes every facet of our daily lives, from grocery shopping to banking, and even communication with friends or colleagues. So far, we've traversed through advancements in industry, connection, and health, but there's more. The Industrial Revolution also reshaped education. As literacy became a valuable asset in the workforce, schools began to sprout up, emphasizing the need for an educated populace. By the end of the 19th century, the foundations of public schooling were laid, paving the way for the education systems many of us know today. Imagine explaining to a child today that formal schooling was a privilege rather than a right. The shift in perception opened the door for progress, leading ultimately to more equitable access to education over time. With increased urbanization and the rise of factories, social discourse began to flourish. Workers organized, realizing that together they had the power to demand better wages and working conditions. This surge of collective action birthed labor unions, laying the groundwork for societal rights and protections we sometimes take for granted. Can you visualize a time when the idea of taking a break or receiving vacation time was almost unthinkable? However, it wasn't all smooth sailing. The quest for progress often clashed with the quest for justice, leaving a complex legacy of labor disputes and social reform. Strikes became commonplace, a clear demonstration of the frustration felt by workers fighting for their rights. Heroes emerged, figures who saturated the labor movement, challenging the status quo. These moments of struggle reflect a long arc toward fairness that resonates profoundly, even today. As we approach the conclusion of this journey, it's crucial to reflect on how the Industrial Revolution fundamentally changed the way we perceive time itself. With the rise of factory work, the day was structured around the rhythm of the machines, creating a mentality that remains with us. The ticking clock became the essence of modern life, dictating our pace, productivity, and even social norms. Have you ever considered how this relentless march of time influences your own daily patterns? Building toward our most impactful revelation, let's weave together the narrative of change that the Industrial Revolution set in motion. This transformation was not merely about the introduction of machines, it invoked a wave of philosophical thought. People started contemplating their place in society, the meaning of work, and the essence of progress. With every innovation came existential questions surrounding human dignity, the value of individual lives, and the relationships we forge in an increasingly mechanized world. It's striking to recognize that today, nearly 200 years later, some of these same questions remain pertinent. The pace of life continues to accelerate as we are engulfed by screens and interconnected technologies. Yet, somewhere amid this vast expanse of information and distraction, we find ourselves yearning for a balance between innovation and our humanity. The very essence of our quest for progress echoes back to that decisive period in history we are exploring. To wrap up this exploration, let's consider the profound nature of the change initiated during the Industrial Revolution, both good and bad. Its essence is forever immortalized in our lives, engraved into our work, education, and social dynamics. The quest for improvement and betterment remains alive in each of us, as we navigate our way through challenges both personal and societal. The Industrial Revolution reshaped our lives and left us with a continued dialogue that evolves but never fades. In conclusion, while the world as we know it today was forged in the crucible of the Industrial Revolution, the central tenet remains: we are continuously reshaped by the forces and innovations that we wield. As we look to the future, it's vital to remember these pivotal lessons. Progress should be measured not only by the advancements we make but by the legacy we leave for generations to come. So, the next time you flip a switch, board a train, or click to order your favorite product online, take a moment to reflect on the extraordinary journey that led us here. The past informs our present, and in embracing both, we can fully appreciate the world we've shaped. As we close, let's keep the spirit of questioning and wonder alive. What revolution lies on the horizon, waiting to reshape our lives once again?